All right, welcome everybody. Let's do a quick sound check. Give 1 second for everyone to join, and just want to make sure you can see me, and you can hear me, and we'll get started in a minute. I think sound is coming through. Yes, it is. Great. Okay, let's start now. So traders, welcome to the trading room. My name is Saul. Glad to be with you. Before we get started, remember we're gonna be trading and working with live market conditions. So anything I show here is not meant to be a buy or sell signal on any instrument, any time frame. I just want to show you the way I read the charts and I trade management and I manage trades. And hopefully you can apply some of these concepts to your own situations and own strategies. Guys, welcome those who are joining. And usually during these training rooms, I tend to go to lower time frames just to be able to show you full setups from the analysis and the setup, the entry, the exit, the win, the loss, everything in between. So please do not follow along. Just be careful and responsible for your own trading. With that, let's jump into the charts. Let me show you what I'm looking at. So we have been discussing the alternatives and the different ways that the chart could, the Euro USD could go. And when we're at parity levels, we spoke about this forming a pivot point, this level right here, and then the option number one going for a full retest of the lows, or just doing a pivot point, okay, a pullback to start a new leg higher. So it seems like the market chose for that option for to start a leg higher, but, and this is a big but, there hasn't been follow through. Now there might be a lot of causes for that, where in August there's lower volume in the markets, so there's more erratic movements. In some cases you will see less money can make larger movements. Okay, they can more easily move the markets because there's less participants and less volume active in the markets during this month of August. And that's why we do not tend to see a lot of directional movement during August. That's just, a general rule. Of course, last year, 2020 and 2021, they were very quite volatile, but this year might be a quieter month regarding that. So what it had the opportunity to really form a leg higher and really break, those levels, it's failing to do that, and now it's rejecting and going down. So the question now is, where do we go? Are we going to be, if I drop to a lower time frame, okay, if I load to the hourlies, where is this going? Is this around to find some support or some demand just to continue higher? Or is this, just continuing lower and lower, from a larger supply back, maybe on the dailies or something like that? So in the real time, it's hard to predict. We just not have to we need to have those possible scenarios in mind and know how to react for each one of those. But just from from what we see, so we are right now on what looks like a support level. Okay, we're reacting to that support level. I don't know how strong that's going to be, and if we're going to test that a few more times, there's the potential to break and go to what it seems more like a demand area, and something where the market might accumulate or be attractive for buyers to be active. So I will not be relying a lot of this support. So if I go to lower time frames, I might be trying to go to the short side of the trades. Okay, so then I go to the to the 5-minute charts, and I have a very clear resistance level there and some resistance here and a nice supply up here. So I can establish that I will be a seller up until those levels. So then I will go and start doing some trading. And I'll be defining my setups. Wait, let me start selling a little bit. And I'll start building into short positions. So I'll be building around this area. This is like a resistance area. And then I have some more there, some up here, some up here. My resistance from the 5-minute chart. And I just want to know how many pips do I have from where I am up until. So that's 60 pips. That would be a lot, but for sure I'll be you know, my bias is to the short. If I'm on the 1-minute chart, I'll be trading the short side. As long as we stay below this, depending on how the market, if it will go to that area, I'll see how that behaves up there. And depending how it behaves, I might close and then rebuild my shorts there. And if the market just starts going up and up and up and breaks all that supply area, then I will need to go to, you know, to switch my trading to the upside. Okay, but let's see how we go. And I'll keep reading price as we advance in the session. So my first entry, you know, is just a little resistance here. It's not a very strong area, so that's why I wanna start small, relatively small. And then around this area, I'll be adding a little bit more. Okay, so I want to be fading those levels. And now this movement on a 1-minute chart, it's a bit overextended. So I will be looking for the next leg lower. Okay. So this might stop at any point and then go all the way to the lows, or might, you know, just pull back and continue higher. I don't know what the next leg will be, but I want to catch the very next movement, which has to be a leg lower or a sideways movement. But any case, my very next trade needs to be a short trade, just because of the overextension. Okay, so I've already added my positions to on these levels. Then if it breaks, then I'll be waiting all the way to that area, and at that area I'll be adding a little bit more. Okay, let's add a little bit more. Okay, I'm just reading price action and trying to get a feel of where the sell is going to push the market lower. So you saw how 1-2 times buyers try to push higher and then got rejected. Now, if the sellers fail to really push the market down, then of course the door opens for a deeper movement up. And in that case, we might go all the way to the highs. So I will hold myself for now adding unless I see a clear, sell signal, which is those, those movements. So you can see real time trying to read price action as it forms, and we can see the indecision in the candle. Okay, we can see how it's just jumping up and down. Okay, let's add a little bit more. I'm trying to catch the turn. Okay, if that fails to happen, I might, slow down a little bit. I might scale out a little bit of my position, and then I reallocate that position up here. Okay, so the sellers are trying to slow that down. They're failing right now. So they have 1, 2, 3. They failed to slow. So I want to scale out a little bit, just to not be overexposed. So I scale out of my position. I always have the opportunity to add that again if I need. The setup I was looking for is right now clearly failing. Okay, so I need to wait, and I need to wait for the next setup. It's still this very overextended. Unless there's a news or something I missed, I didn't see any news coming. But if this is news driven, I might be in trouble. But if it's not news driven, I should be okay. This is overextended. I'm still looking for either the consolidation or the pullback. Okay, that's my next move. And now actually the sellers are having trouble. Okay, you saw how sellers pushed the market down and got rejected by the buyers. So now I need to read price when it tries to change from from a bullish from a bullish leg into a bearish leg. Okay, on the chart. Waiting. Be patient, because I don't see signs of selling pressure to come to the market. So I need to wait for that. There was 1, 2, 3 bars of consolidation, so that might be enough for the market to push even higher. Okay, so I need to be mindful of that. Okay, so I want to see how price reacts when it approaches to this key area, and that will tell me if I need to add to my position or actually to trace from the position. Okay, to pull off a little bit of exposure from the position, take a little loss before it gets and turns into a larger loss. Let's watch together. Okay, so there was one setup back here which fails, and then was another potential setup back here which also fails. So let's see what happens now. Okay, still overextended. So I'm still think there needs to be a pullback, but my bias, I'm doubting my on my bias. I should, you know, stick to the sell side, or as long as or as soon as I get the, you know, the pullback I'm looking for, I should start switching into the long side. So that's also something to ask myself. Okay, so we start seeing reaction from this key area, but it needs to be significant. Okay, so you saw how that fails to push lower, and now it's now just getting stronger to the upside. Okay, so I took a little bit more of my exposure out. Okay, I took a little loss there. And that's how I balance my positions. Now on a very small position, I can be more, you know, flexible, and I can add those trades again if needed. But when I see signs of strength against me, I want to be backing up of the position. Okay. And when I get some confidence in the setup, then I will reallocate that money back. Okay, so that's, let's see how that forms. Okay, we're still at the area. Still at the Q area, still overextended, still on a bearish day. There's a lot of buying pressure. So okay, that's a nice candle. If he can hold, that will be a nice sell candle. You know, I'm adding back the trades I took off. Okay, so I'm $28 down for the trade. Okay, for this specific trade. So first I need to fix the trade, and then I will try to make money. Okay, I need to get into a good position, and then I'll try to make money off it. 5-minute chart, nothing has changed. Okay, there's still potential for a deeper movement down. Right now, my target area needs to be around there. That was the beginning. Okay, that was the breaking area of this previous consolidation, and what started all this movement up. So my target needs to be around there. Okay, at least in my mind. If I have price action tell me I can go even lower, then I will. Come on, some follow through. This is the area where it could find support and then turn up. Okay, so I need to be careful with that. If I'm overexposed, this is a good area to peel off some of the money. But I'm liking, finally, I'm liking how the price action is forming. I would really like to see some follow through to the downside. I don't want to see buyers holding that level and pushing the market up. Now look at the P&L, and I'll try to scale out a little bit just to go back to break even on the trade, and then I'll look to make some money. Okay, peel out a little bit. Okay, now if you see my history, okay, I'm still at 20. From 28, I brought it back to 20. And remember, I have a target area there. Okay, from there, buyers will be interested in buying at that area. So I'll peel off a little bit more around this line. And then depending on how we behave, how the price action forms, then I will I might decide to leave a little bit more running in my favor. Okay, but now as this movement was overextended, this movement down is also overextended. Okay, so now I need to be prepared for buyers being active around these levels. So I just scale out, okay, Enrique. Just at the line, I scale out a little bit more. Okay, so I'm trying to bring the trade as close to break even as possible. Okay, and you saw how we touched the line, and that's why this candle, this area there, turn it into a swap area. So it's kind of a mid-range demand. So now I'm looking for this and then continuation lower. Okay, that would be a possible scenario. Okay, but I just want to, you know, I'm trying to explain you everything what happened. Okay, so I was looking for a sell here that failed. Up back here, my sale, you know, the movement down also failed, didn't come, and it came all the way at the tops. Okay, so I was wrong 3 times or almost 3 times, and I'm able to still, you know, stay in the game. And if I close everything, I'll be making money at the end of the trade. And that's the whole skill we want to acquire. Okay, being able to be wrong in the market and still manage to end up making money. Okay, so I've brought the trade for a break even right now, and I have a little bit still running in my favor. But now I can decide to close it, or even to add if I need. Okay, if this comes up, I now, based on the price action, okay, buyers had the opportunity to push that up, and that didn't happen. So now I can have the opportunity to add into my sales. Okay, if I have the opportunity. Okay, 5-minute chart. This will be a tricky area because this might turn now into a leg, okay, into a bullish leg. I just need to be careful with that. Okay, now I'm back to a very small position, so I'm not concerned about keeping this on. Let's see if this goes all the way to the tops. Okay, forms a new leg higher, or just a pullback to the next movement, which will be to the low side. Yeah, I don't have a lot of info from the 5-minute chart. Expect some follow through. Let's see if we can get it. Come on. So after this candle here, I was expecting some follow through. So that's why I added. Now, since that failing, I just scale out again. Okay. I just don't want to get stalked. If this just suddenly start running against me, I just don't want to get stuck in that run against me with a large position. So that's why I need to be balancing my lot sizes. And I keep reading price. I mean, the next lower might come, and if we continue with this price action, kind of a channel, a little bit of compression towards let's look at solid sell area, I'll be confident shorting the area again. And the market has kind of changed in character. If you see these nice waves of up and down, up and down, up and down, it has changed a little bit now. Okay, we have a large run up and large run down, and now imagine if I was long right now. No, you feel excited, you feel anxious because you're short and there's no follow through to the short side. Okay, but then to the downside. But imagine if you were long right here. Okay, you say, okay, this is a pivot point, we're going up, and then you get, false break, no follow through. So we need to react to what market is telling us, and the character is forming. So it might be telling us it's not going to break either direction. So we might want to scale in, scale out quicker, and maybe with more volume to compensate the lack of direction is having right now. Okay. Nice. Okay, I'm down all the way back to 2, so I don't care. Just letting that on and rethinking what I need to do. A lot of indecision. You can see the indecision, both 1 minute chart and 5 minute chart. Tails both sides. So if I was on a hedging account, I might be buying a little bit. Okay, start building into buys. Because this is a netting account, I will not build on the long side, but I will wait to catch the next leg lower. Okay. Meantime, The trade is already profitable, which is important. Okay. Given the fact that I was wrong 2 times at first. Okay. And bit of directional movement. I need to be careful. I need to add, but I need to be careful and not over allocate, because this might run. Okay. Breaking up. And momentum not pulling back at all. Be careful with that. So I slowly add. I have this level here. We might be reacting. Okay, we didn't get there, but I expect some reaction there. And after that, not much until the final line. So if I feel I'm overexposed, again, once I get to break even, I need to pull out. Okay, scale out a little bit. Okay, not afraid of, not hesitant on taking those break-even trades. I want to be well positioned when I have a good setup, and I want to reduce exposure when I feel the trade is going against me. Okay, I always can go back to always put that money back into the trade when I feel the market is going the way I thought. Okay, but from this movement, okay, and comparing this last movement up to that one, okay, that was like a running market, but very small candles, a lot of tailing activity on the top. This time we have a lot of buying pressure. 1, 2, 3 bullish bars, no tails, no selling activity. So I want to be less greedy. It's solid bullish bar on the 5-minute chart. Again. So this one right here, okay, that was a break and a retest, a continuation. Now it failed to follow up and it met some resistance there. So that might be the moment to sell, okay, where sellers will be active. I like that. Still looks pretty bearish. So I want to be just careful with the amount I add. Now, if we handle to break that line, again, kind of have a mental target there. Okay, that will be the easy target, but we need to break this level first. You see how every time we touch that line, there's buyers buying activity, so we need to beat those buyers, and then we might go down to that line. And every time you break even and you don't feel comfortable with the trade, you reduce exposure. Okay, if you're over allocated, of course. Struggling to break down. That shouldn't be anything here. Stop this from pulling all the way down to here. You can see how it's struggling. Remember, I have a mental target there. I will scale out a little bit down there. All right, nice. Okay, and then I'll swing the rest. Let's see if we can get the some profits. Now that's a demand area. Okay, so I need to, buyers might easily come back into the market like they did last time. I need to be prepared. But we finally see some selling pressure. So now if I get bullish activity, I'll be happy selling again. Okay, let's see. That was a rough trade. Okay, but I put it positive. Okay, so I started negative, and I found a way to turn it around into a $50 trade. Even though I was wrong many times. Okay, now let's look for price action. I might start looking now for buying trade, just a little scalps, because we are now at a demand area. So I'll look now for after this overextension, and given the fact sellers are struggling to push the market down, so let's see if we can find the next movement up, and then I'll sell. Okay, this will be just a little scalp. Okay, follow through. That's a turn. A little bit of follow through here. That would be good. I would like to take profits around there. There's still at the demand area on the 1 minute chart. We had the opportunity to turn. We failed to turn. Okay, that's not a good signal for the movement for the turn I'm looking to catch. So we should be turning. Okay, right around there. I want to see some follow through. A tail right there would be a bad, it would be a bad signal for my trade. I want to see some follow through. So buyers were in chart, in control of the market. Now we see sellers in control of the market. Nice. More. Struggling to turn. Right there, that's the turning point. Let's see if we can have some follow through. Okay, continue a little bit. Okay, this will be just a scalp trade. Let's see if we can get a little bit more. Then I might switch again to the selling side. Okay, that failed to follow through. That's a very bearish signal. So that's why I scale out a little bit more. So this trade is up $7. Now I'll switch to the sell side. Let's see what happens. So second trade goes for 11 pip for $11. Now let's see if we can have some follow through to the downside. We're really stuck in this consolidation. Okay. So the break to either side will be a strong one. We have a channel up. So yeah, then this might be kind of a channel. I'm just inside the channel we might be forming. We're also stuck in this consolidation. So I want to see if I can make some money inside the consolidation. And even if we break up, there's a potential forming a pivot point there. So I want to sell again up here. Okay. So that's the movement down. Now I will hold now on building longs because this brings a nice break to the downside. So now, if any, I want to wait for the longs and then to keep shorting. Okay, but finally we have a little bit of real, good price action, good volatility. So that's the support we spoke about that we might broke at the very first. Okay, and that what we said we want to be bearish biased. It really took a long time for this movement to come. Okay, but that's kind of the movement and price action I'm looking for. Now I don't want to be buying, but I certainly want to be waiting for a pullback to start shorting this movement. Okay, this is a nice volatility. You know what? This is a fresh supply we have now, but certainly will be some support. So it should be the pullback at the support. Now I want to be selling. So that's the support area. If we break that, we'll run lower and lower. Okay, so we can try to catch the breakout, but those tend to be a lot of false breakouts. So I'll start very small at the breakout itself because it tends to false break. But just in case the break happens, I want to be in the trade. There we go. We're just penetrating the support area. How that looks on the hourlies. Okay, so this should run a little bit. But even if it doesn't run, finally created a little bit of nice price action to determine a good bias. Okay, so let's take that, and on a pullback I will add. Okay, that's finally a good nice area. David, I feel when I go to lower time frames for entry and I get stop out and enter too early, I draw key levels on the daily. I look for entries on the 15. That's perfect, David, and that's super valid. I just want to show you my trade management, so that's why I go to lower time frames. But certainly I show all my progress on my long-term account a few weeks ago, and that was taking just setups from the dailies and the hourlies. But what you see me doing now, the way I manage the trade, the adding and the scaling out of the trade, it's just the same that I do on higher time frames as well. So these same patterns and this same price action you will find on all time frames. So if you feel comfortable with the 15-minute charts, just stick to them. Okay, so let's see if we can, where's this movement down likely to end? We might go all the way to there. So I will not be a seller. We have some, I will not be a buyer. We have about 15 more pips potential stop of this movement down, but I do need a pullback so I can start shorting. Okay, this is overextended, and I expect this to, the same way this was overextended, we had this pullback. So this is overextended now, and we should get pullback, and with that pullbacks I will have the opportunity to start shorting, and my target for that trade will be around this area we just draw. And for these pullbacks, okay, I will be shorting all the way to this area right here, which is a fresh supply we just got formed. Just not going to give it to me. But okay, guys, I think we can wrap up. You know what I'm looking at? Okay, I think there's news in 5 minutes or 6 minutes, so just be careful with that, being active around that area. But technically, I want to be seller, so I'll wait for a pullback and I'll try to short the market, at least on the lower time frames. On the dailies, it's hard to tell where is this going. We've been discussing the inflation in the US, increasing interest rates, so reasons why the dollar should go up and the dollar should go down. The price action is just not there. The price action is not telling us clearly where is this going. Okay, it's just failing to go both directions. Okay, we have a lot of tailing activity, both sides, down and up. Attempt to break lower, full retracement. Attempt to break that higher. Now we're retracing. Okay, we're pulling down. So it's a very confusing time, and we're very confusing area to trade. We get a lot of mixed signals, but we live with that, correct? And okay, there's the pullback. Nice. So at first, I guess around that area, I'll start selling. Then a little bit here, I'll keep selling. So I want to see this start to slowing down and then the turn to come. Okay, so that's a kind of a slowing down. Now let's see if there's a follow through to the downside. And also, I need to go to for a meeting, so I think I'll just wrap it up, guys. Was a nice day. Okay, we had, you know, minus $100 profit minus commission, so we're left with 80. But the important thing is the process. Okay, we wanna keep mastering our process and our skills of identifying key areas, setups we feel more comfortable, less comfortable, reacting accordingly. You know, you saw me being right just one or twice during this trading session, and the rest of the time I was wrong, and I needed to, you know, balance my lot size and react and readapt and fix, and then I ended up in the positive side. So when you feel comfortable with that and you gain the skill, you just increase in sizes, and that's how you just start making an income from trading. All right, thank you guys. Thanks for coming. Thanks for staying. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.